Not that there's not more to discuss, there's plenty to discuss. We could spend weeks and weeks on this. Bunim, good morning. We could spend weeks on this. But this is probably the last share of this week. So let's hop around, let's finish off Hadlokas on Haneiros Shabbos Kodesh, and then we'll Be'ez Hashem next week move on to a brand new sugya. So there's a couple of hours I wanted to go through because we can hop around. Yitzi, good morning. We can go through a couple of hours over here just before we finish. So first of all, I think we mentioned this, but it's kedai to mention again, and that is a woman, when she lights the candles, is Makabel Shabbos. A man is not Makabel Shabbos. Even though a man is not Makabel Shabbos when he lights the candles, the Mishnah Berurah says, Toiv, it's good for a man to say, or at least believe, to say that he's not being Makabel Shabbos, and of course he should make the bracha first, unlike a woman, as we mentioned yesterday, should make it afterwards. Now, even though a woman is Makabel Shabbos by Hadlokas Haneiros, there is a halacha which the Ramah brings down, halacha l'maisa and Sif Yud, and that is called a tanai. If she makes a tanai, a condition that she's not being Makabel Shabbos b'shas Hadlokas Haneiros, even if she does it believe, the lashon is a smug, then it's going to be okay, and she's not Makabel Shabbos. Now, the Ma'aseh the Chofetz Chaim, the Mishnah Berurah, and many other poskim say, and that comes from the lashon of the smug already, is that she should not make a tanai unless there's a real tzorech. It's not something we make generally. It's not something that we should try to do unless there's a real tzorech that she absolutely needs to do malacha afterwards. She should not make a tanai. Now, obviously, the question is, what about mincha? Right? For example, davening mincha after Kabbalah Shabbos is a problem because once you become Shabbos, it's Shabbos. Once it's Shabbos, you can't daven a weekday Shmoneh Esrei. So therefore, if that's the case, how does a woman who lights candles could have daven mincha? So of course, avada she should daven mincha before lighting candles. In that case, b'diavad, there's what to be soymech on that the ma'aser she can daven mincha after Kabbalah Shabbos. In that case, over there. But again, l'chatchila she should daven before b'shas adchak. Better than making a tanai, she should just daven afterwards. Another halacha as well. Again, I'm just trying to go through just a couple of minhagim and halachas just to finish off this sugya. So even though we spoke about this a couple of days ago, the inyan of lighting a bunch of neighbors, especially those people that have a family, you light for every child. Whenever a person goes away, the minig is that when you go away for Shabbos and you're not in your home, the minig is that you only light 2 candles. That doesn't mean you're not allowed to light the normal amount, but the minig is you can light 2 and you don't have to worry about the halacha which we're about to say about forgetting to light or something similar to that. And that minig is brought down in many gedolei poskim. I'm not going to quote all the gedolei achronim and poskim that bring down that the minig is when you go away for Shabbos, you don't have to light the regular amount. 2 is enough. Now the idea of lighting an extra candle, which we spoke about last week, about the minig came from lighting an extra candle for every child. So this halacha of forgetting to light comes from Darkei Moshe. Darkei Moshe brings a Maril, where the Maril says that if a woman forgets to light Ner Shabbos, she needs to light an extra light all her life. And listen to the lashon again. It's a Maril. The Ramah brings it. Darkei Moshe brings it. She also has to do vidui and tainis. Vidui and tainis. As I state, the Maril, which the Darkei Moshe brings. Zug the Bach, pshat in the Maril. It's not a kapora. It's just what he calls a heka v'knas. That she lights an extra candle because she forgot. She will now be more careful her whole lifetime to make sure she doesn't forget in that case. Now there are places that we are makel, where there is no knas. The most common one is, of course, an oinus. What happens if it's an oinus, right? Shailas come in all the time. Very common shailas. A man told his wife, wife said, when is Hadlokas Haneiros? When is the Zman Hadloka? When do I have to light? So the husband thought about it. He says, 4:35. Okay. So she does what she has to do. 4:35 comes along, and she's about to light, and the husband's like, no, hold on a minute. No, it's shkia. You can't light now. Oh, no, you gave me the wrong time. So that's an oinus, right? She had no idea. The husband gave her the time. It's an oinus. So she forgot to light, meaning she didn't light. So in that case, chazki, she would not have to light an extra light. Why? Because that's an oinus. Or for example, a very common shaila, by the way, when you have a 3-day yontif, right? It's very common. The shaila comes in when you have a 3-day yontif, and then the woman goes to sleep on the second day yontif afternoon, and she wakes up after shkia, right? It can happen. Right? You go to sleep, come the yontif meal sometimes drags out long. By the time she goes to sleep in the afternoon to have a little rest, it's 3-4 o'clock. Hadlokas Haneiros, it could be 4-5, whatever it may be. She sleeps in. She oivai shkia. she didn't light, so it's an oinus. So now, in those cases, generally speaking, you could be makel, and she will not have to light an extra light in that case. There are, by the way, poskim that say if she put on the electric light, this won't apply obviously by 3-day Yom Tov, but on a regular Shabbos Kodesh, if she put on the electric light but just simply forgot to light the candles, there's what to be soimek on, since we said yesterday that our electric lights are be'etzem the ikar Hadlokas Haneiros Shabbos, and you could theoretically even make a bracha on that. Therefore, if she lit the candles, the lights, the electric light in the house, the covered Shabbos, of course, after plug, then that would be a help to be makel, not to give a woman a knas in that case. There's also a case of a man forgetting to light, there's no knas. Or for example, Yontov lighting, right? Hadlokas Haneiros Yontov would also not cause a knas. Many different shaylas. I'm not going to go into it now, just to give the olam that little bit of snippets of shaylas. Now I want to end with one last major shayla, and that is of course going away for Shabbos, bochrim, and even husbands and wives going out to eat for Shabbos and stuff like that. How does it work with Hadlokas Haneiros? So without going into too much detail, this be'etzim comes from a modcha that brings the Maram. The Maram and the Shulchan Aruch brings it as well about bochrim that go away, they go out of their houses for Shabbos. They should make a bracha, they should light. Whatever it is, without going into the sugya, we from that modcha, from that Maram, we come up with a big yesod, and that is that there are shnei dinim. There's a din of a choivas gavra, and there's a choivas also mokaim as well, which means there's an obligation on every yid to light Haneiros Shabbos. There's also an obligation to make sure that the place that you are in for Shabbos has light, has illumination, so that shalai yikoshel, shalom beisai, covered by Shabbos. All the reasons we spoke about in the beginning, which means I have to fulfill both of these obligations. I have to fulfill the choivas gavra, the fact that I have a chiyuv. I also have to fulfill the obligation of the mokaim, the location, the place, Yaakov, that I'm in. That's the difference, okay? Let me give you an example of this halacha. A husband that goes away for Shabbos. So he's away for Shabbos, he's gone somewhere for Shabbos, his wife and the kids are at home. Okay, very common shaila. Now the question is the husband yotzeh chiyuv of Hadlokas Haneiros Shabbos? Pashtus, his chayvus gavra is already covered with the fact that his wife lit candles. Why? Because it's his oil. Mimela, she's lighting his oil. If she's lighting his oil, he's yotzeh the chiyuv gavra that I've lit it. I've done something to light Shabbos candles, but I have a problem. Because if the husband has a hotel room, or he has an apartment, or he has a room, whatever it is, he has a chiyuv in that mokaim to also be mekayim the mitzvah of Hadlokas Haneiros Shabbos, which means that he has a chiyuv to light with a bracha in that mokaim. So it won't help you if you're away, if someone's lighting in your house, if you have a mokaim that needs to be lit up, that you also have to light over there. So that will be the case of a husband that is away, that again, the wife is lighting, and of course, obviously if the whole family go away, that's a whole different shayla, no one's lighting, and Avadi has to light. But even if the wife is lighting for him, then that will be, he still has to light in the place that he is, if there's obviously a place that he can light, v'chole v'chole. Now, moving on, this is nageya now to anyone, whether it's someone who's married that goes away, or even a yeshiva bacha, which we said, a yeshiva bacha has a chiyuv to light Hadlokas Haneiros Shabbos every single Shabbos. So what happens when you go away for Shabbos, or something similar to that? So there are two ways that you can be mekayim your mitzvah without actually physically lighting anything on Erev Shabbos. That is number one, you could be nichnal b'soich beisai, which means you could be included in the bnei bayis. You could be part of the mishpacha. Once you're part of the mishpacha, the same way a child of a parent doesn't have to light his own neighbors, even though he's over bar mitzvah or bas mitzvah. They have a chiyuv to light, but their mother is lighting, and therefore they're nichlal in bnei beisa in the household. Mimela, they don't have to light. Is the same thing is true that if I'm staying in somebody's house and I become part of the family, part of the mishpacha, I don't need to light anymore. So if that's the case, that would be one way. Number two, the other way would be mishtati b'pruta. We'll get to that. So first of all, what does it mean soymach al shulchaneh? What does it mean to be part of the household? So Rav Elyashiv Lamaisa Paskin, you've got to be there for 30 days. If you're less than 30 days, you're not part of the household, you're not part of the family, and therefore you cannot be yotzah with what they are doing. Rav Falk Lamaisa told me one time, 7 days is enough, 1 week is enough to be considered to be Bnei Beisai. Rav Moshe Paskin, 1 Shabbos. So it means according to Rav Moshe, that if you go somewhere for Shabbos, you are a guest in someone's home for Shabbos Kodesh, so Rav Moshe, that's a what to be soymech on, that you are considered to be a chelik of the mishpacha. Mimela, when they lit for you, you are included in that, and you don't have to do anything whatsoever. The Shmir Shabbos wants to be even more makel, which by the way we could use this maybe as he passes this way halacha l'maisa, but we could use this to be makel in many cases, that he says even a Friday night meal you go for, So even if you have a bacha that's got a chiyuv to light, and no one's lighting in yeshiva, let's say, but he's going somewhere Friday night to eat the Suda, according to Shmir Shabbos, he's considered to be Nichmal B'Shoik Beisai Friday night, which means that when they lit Shabbos candles every Shabbos, Shimon, you're with me, then therefore they're Nichmal him, he's included in that, even though he wasn't even there, B'Shas Maisa, and he's leaving after the Sida. So according to that, there's what to be Soimach in that case. The second pshat to be Mishtat, to be included in the B'nai Beisai, to be Chiyav, should be Yotza, is Mishtat B'Pruta, which again comes from Rav Yah, talks about Achsanoi, which we're not going to go into. The Gas Maltcha also brings it as well, and that is when I'm Mishtat B'Pruta, which means either I give them 20, 30 agarot, or, for example, they could be makna some of the shemen to you in that case, and then automatically my oil is being lit, and I'm yotze my chiyuv in that case over there. So just to end with the shaila of a bacha, when you have a bacha in yeshiva, what's the halacha? So Avada, his parents in home in Chutzlar, it's a lighting, that's not going to help you. First of all, it's different time zones, so it could be they haven't even lit hours later, it's not negei b'chlal. And also you have a choves makom as well. So there are many poskim that hold at the end of the day, one yeshiva is like one big happy family, which means if that's the case, if one person is lighting, that the yotza for everyone in that case, and lavdafka everyone has to light. Some hold that everyone should light separately in that case, which is again, some yeshivas do it that they one person lights for everyone with or without a bracha. It's of course a shaila. Or some people have a chiyuv every single case. But again, when you're away for Shabbos, remember that you could be yotza. Either you're there for the whole Shabbos, or you mishtate b'pruta. If you want to be yotza, give them half a shekel or something like that, and for sure you're yotza in that case. So as I said, there are tons more halachas that we can go to. But Be'ez Hashem, we'll leave this for a different time. And Mitzvah Hashem, Be'ez Hashem next week. Start a brand new halacha. Have an amazing day.